Hello, my name is Nathan. Welcome to my channel. I am an animator who gets all of his inspiration from good music and good animation, and all the better if they are combined together like they are in Hazbin Hotel. And today we're going to watch More Than Anything. Let's get into it. Alright, I am trying to get into some Christmas performance reviews here, but after the last video when I reacted to Gravity from Hazbin Hotel, there was so much engagement and conversation on that post and 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, everyone. That I just wanted to give another animation reaction to Hazbin Hotel to mark my progress through the seasons that I'm watching before we get into Christmas videos. Okay, quick update. Hazbin Hotel, I am Season 1, Episode 4 in. Yes, I have some favorites. Hell is Forever by Alex Brightman. I did not give him the credit that was due his voice when I reacted to Gravity. I was too focused on Jessica Vosk's voice. Wow, incredible voice, great song. Loser Baby? Also love that song. The visuals in that song are spectacular. Hazbin Hotel elevates the animation during the musical numbers. There is no doubt about it. It is very clear. And some of the animation and timing in that song is just wonderful to watch. I loved it. Okay, but today I want to react to More Than Anything. I think it has some of the stuff that makes Hazbin Hotel really good, and it's also got some of the stuff that I noticed that interrupts my viewing experience of Hazbin Hotel in terms of animation. Let's get into it together.
Listen to me. They won't listen to you.
You don't know that.
I do. You didn't know that when I tried this all before. My dreams were too hard to defend, and in the end, I won't lose it all again.
Oh, love this. Love the imagery behind him and now her. And it's really supporting the lyrics of the song. He's trying to pull her out of that harm that could come from her ideas. So nice. Jeremy Jordan has a great voice. Someone else, I think I said that, I'm a fan of as well too. And super happy to hear him in this role. I'm going to react to more Jeremy Jordan, one of my favorite performances, at another time.
When I was young, I didn't really know.
Love this turn. Ooh, she's so cute! I love when characters get baby versions of themselves. Great transition though, from adult to a kid. Listen how she delivers that. It's so bright, it's breathy as she imagines like such a happy memory.
It's the view I had of you that show me dreams can be worth fighting for. More than anything, more than anything, I need to save my people more than anything.
I love her storyline too. I feel it.
To find out who you are.
I've been waiting, wanting the same thing.
Okay. This was probably the reason I chose this song. This little string of animation together here is beautiful. This animator either loves and has experience animating to music, and I'm sure she did both of these scenes back to back because we see very similar technique and style in the animation. Look how well they have planned out his dialogue poses to move with the music during this. He's down and I've been trying to find out who you are, right? But it's not the same amount of movement on each one. The animator has made different amplitudes of movement, if you will, so that it's not boring. When everything hits the same amount all the time, it's not interesting. But this person is thinking through this movement so musically. You've got those two accents on find and are as the bigger accents, but they've maintained the two big ones by using anything else in the scene, the other accents, to support those two main ones in two ways. One, by toning down the movement of all the other accents in the scene. So when the other actions that are happening, they're not as big as those two main ones. We got to preserve those. But also, They support those two accents by often moving in opposite directions before we get into the big accent. It prepares the viewer for where you're going, and it helps support this later action. They do it so well in both of these scenes. Both are really beautiful.
Find out who you are.
I've been waiting, wanting the same thing.
Oh, hitting those accents there are so good. I wish they would have kept her hands up there just for continuity of her character's progression. There, we just celebrated something beautiful in the show, but there is one thing that is driving me crazy a little bit. I am interrupted in my viewing experience of it because the hookup between two shots is not there. And that means when you cut to a different angle of a character, their arms, their hands, their body, everything needs to be in the same position. So many times that's not happening here, and I don't know why. If it's just heavily edited after it's done animation, and so they're cutting out what might have been, the end of a scene where the animator got the character into a hookup pose, or if it's just not an eye to that on this show. I don't know. I'm just coming off working on Loud House, and it was so picky. It was always on the animator's plate to hook up to the animator in front of them so that there was no popping of arms or limbs or different poses when we get there. And so maybe I'm just obsessively viewing this now through that lens of coming off that show, but look at these examples right here. When Lucifer's turns around and then we cut to where we're at the front of him, look, he ends one scene with his arms down and he starts the next scene with his arms up, right? The previous scene should have just animated his arms up so we're ready when we cut to then follow through with this action that he does. Look how obvious the eyes are on screen, and when you pop to something where suddenly they're wide, when in the previous scene, the very end of it, they were closed more to slits, it pops and it's jarring. The last one, when they're flying here, like we're going from the close where they're hugging and making eye contact, or he's holding her, and then we cut to the wide because we're going to see her hand like run through the lava or the fire. It's just like, it's not even the same. It's like there's not even a thought put to like hooking up where they were looking at each other. That is a thought in the song. Like they were making connection and singing to each other. And so when we suddenly cut away for the purpose of the next scene and they're not looking at each other anymore, it just abruptly ends that thought. It doesn't give the closure of Lucifer looking at his daughter and then blinking and then looking down at the lava. That would have been the natural way to just make that more continuous as a thought and as an idea and as animation. Okay, that's my picky thing. Let's go back to enjoying it. There's a lot more to enjoy in this still, so let's keep watching.
Took you a while.
I've missed that smile.
Oh, smile, while, the way they hit those, great. This twirling is beautiful. That's a tough ask to ask of an animator. It's better here when you don't see their feet. Love the wings opening up with that accent.
You are part of who I am. I'll support your dream, whatever lies in store. More than anything.
I actually love when characters leave reality for a moment in this kind of like world where they can float and fly and just experience music. Oh, that turn was done beautifully. You can always pick on things that are animation related, and you can always find things that are beautiful, but when they're grounded in something that is progressing in a good way and where the characters are being developed in an intelligent and thoughtful way, you forgive all that stuff. This is just my job to be picky about the little details and to try and support the viewer's experience through clean and smooth and appropriate animation. And to be honest, I think you can enjoy this without the interruptions, but these are my eyeballs looking at this, and these are the kind of things I see, and so I want to point them out as I go. All right, more Hazbin Hotel to come. I'm going to move on to some Christmas songs because, hey, it's the season, and I'm going to watch through the rest of season 1 and season 2 and come back with more favorite songs. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for engaging with me in the comments and pointing me to the good things, the interesting things, the best things about the show. It is helping my journey as I go through it, and I look forward to doing more of these with you as well too. So until the next time, goodbye.